Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Thursday night? It is time yet again for the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation, overrated, underrated, tonight on the Tom Gulley Show. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all those wonderful things that serve the almighty algorithm, the all-powerful algorithm. Okay. And then, we got super chats, we got memberships. You can avail yourself of those if you'd like. Our goal, we do have a goal every show, is any amount of money. And then, of course, it tells in the crawl at the bottom of the screen how to turn on your gifted membership. Sometimes people do gifted memberships in here, and if yours are on, you get one. So there you go. Any guesses if the waterhead survived? If you're referring to Stuttering John, yes, he was broadcasting live through the miracle of free internet access in the McDonald's parking lot. I wonder if he ordered a McHasbeen with cheese. I had two things today that I wasn't too happy about. What was the first one? I already know what one of them was. Oh, God, yes. There's two things. I made, and I highly recommend these. I think I got them at Walmart, frozen. And they're these super flat tacos called Crisp Ups. And if you make them, they're really flat and they're crunchy and they're really good. I was eating one of those last night. And I bit myself. You ever bite yourself, not on the tongue, but on the inside of your mouth at like a really weird spot that you're like, how did I even bite myself? That's what I did. And it was one of those bites, and I know you probably have done this to yourself as well, where you want to call a surgeon after it happens. You're like, maybe I could bleed to death. So that happened. And so now when I talk, I've got this little, ow. But the big one was, I went to this meeting today. Lately, people have been scheduling me for meetings. I was forced to issue an email toward the end of the day today that said, before you book me for a meeting, I have to agree to the meeting. Because we have one of those Outlook, you can book people for stuff. And I'm like, I don't need to be in all these. I know you guys think I need to be in all your meetings. I don't need to be in all your meetings. So I'm going into this big, giant office building. Big, giant. And they have a revolving door. The revolving doors to get in. So I'm walking toward the door, and I notice there's a guy behind me. And I go to the door, and I start pushing on it, and it's heavy. This is not a light, It's, you know how they are. You got to give them a little oomph there. And I'm pushing this door, and I notice it's not getting any lighter. I'm thinking, there's a dude behind me. I should be getting a little something. I kind of glance over my shoulder. This dude ain't pushing. He's letting me push, and he's just walking. Like I'm his door opener guy or something. And plus, I'm like, I'm a big dude, but let's go. A little help here. Did I say anything to him after I got out and then he got out? Come on, I said something to him. First time on a revolving door? What? That must have been your first time going through a revolving door. It's customary for everybody to push. Because I was pushing, and I looked back at you, and you weren't doing shit. And I actually said that to him. I'm like, in the future, I'm not your door guy. And I just left. Okay, so that's my day to day. That's my day to day. Aku says, I already did that one. Boo! I know I'm the third. You're fine. Recently, I bit the inside of my mouth. The only way I could have achieved such a wound position is if a cat pushed my cheek in. Exactly. I don't even know. It bothers me more that I don't know how it happened, probably. I love getting free rides through the revolving door, says Julian Caesar. Kirkland says, imagine if you faked a leg cramp and then slammed the door shut. I almost wanted to get out and then swing my leg really wide like it was like a fake leg or something. I didn't, though. It was too late. He'd followed me half a block or whatever it was. Why do some doors keep swinging forever? Or am I just imagining that? No, you're not. Some of them swing really easily. Look, the reason they use revolving doors is because if you put hinge doors on the front of a building like that, it's super hard on the HVAC. Revolving doors are not. Revolving doors keep all the treated air inside for the most part. That's why they do it. That's the only reason they do it. And, but am I the only one pushing? And some of them have like a drag coefficient on them. You got to push like hell to get them to move. And they make a noise at the bottom because they're sealed. They're probably doing their job. But, excuse me, there are those other ones that you tap them and they'll spin for 3 hours. Julian Caesar say, I like to get in the same segment of the revolving door as someone else. Yeah. I've done that with people I know, with people I don't know. And now they have those automatic revolving doors that have like a infrared eye or something. So that when you get in them, it moves them itself. You don't have to do anything. But I've gotten in and by the way, some revolving doors, that little wedge segment is really small. You can't get two people in there. Some of them is big enough for a living room. And I've gotten in revolving doors with people I knew before, getting back to the hotel, but I've never done it with somebody I don't know. This show is sponsored by Fisherman's Friend. We'll take any sponsors we can get, frankly. Julian Caesar says the hospital has these huge revolving doors you can fit a wheelchair into. Yeah, hospitals have giant ones. I don't think there's anybody in here right now that remembers. This show used to be sponsored, I'm not joking, by plastic bags you pick up dog crap with. I'm not kidding. We were sponsored by Ranger Rob's poopy bags for quite a while. Quite a long time. And you can still see the ads and stuff I did, I think, on YouTube. And we did live reads every day, man. We sold a lot of poopy bags for that guy. Oh, man. Are we having connection issues again, StreamYard? What was your promo code? I don't remember. We may not have had a promo code. I can't remember. I cannot remember. I could do one of the spots right now, though, because I did it so many times. But actually, I had a family member with dogs that bought some and said, these are the greatest things ever. Because they were made for especially that purpose. They weren't just like a bag somebody got. And no, they were especially custom made for picking up dog crap. Biodegradable, lemon-scented, extra large baggage area with extra long handles. Oh, yeah. Aku says, Tom needs a t-shirt cannon. Free shirt if you catch it. It's a great alibi with a certain ice cream van. I'm glad you mentioned that, Aku. Guess who came by here about a half an hour ago? I'm hoping to God he's changed his route so you guys don't have to hear him anymore. But it was about a half an hour ago, and his happy ass came driving by here. I watched a little of the Stuttering John live from McDonald's thing. Comb your hair. Looking like you just got up and combed your hair with a stick of butter every time you're on camera. I am an ugly man. I don't think there's any, why beat around the bush? But I take a shower, for crying out loud. Comb my damn hair. Hey, by the way, today's collar, this shirt, it's a 10-year-old shirt. It's one of my many U.S. national team 2-0 against Mexico shirts. As you can see, the United States pattern in the 2 and the Mexico pattern. Anyway, it's 10 years old, John. I don't know if you got the corner fold here on this one, but it's 10 years old. Comb, shave that disgrace of a hairline and rock an Elvis wig. Terry Nee says, John makes me feel good at my age. He probably does. He says, I'll feel good. Okay, so earlier today I noticed they were doing some TSN show at 6 Eastern, and I noticed that they moved it back to 7. Thanks. One of the things that's of, how can I put this? Sometimes when I'm in the chat room on TSN, I have valuable information, like stuff they need to know. And I don't want to super chat to give them that information, because it would be like a $15 super chat. It's like, but here's something, and I'm telling you, this is exactly what happened. Remember when John had that really long hair, and those long hairs? He'd shave, but then he'd have hairs real long with things poking out. Remember that? Here's exactly what's happening there. I guarantee you this is what's happening. When you use disposable razors, and there's nothing wrong with disposable razors, and tons of people use them that I know. Unless you have a straight razor or metal blades, you're using disposable razors. When you don't clean them, rinse them while you're using them or afterwards, and when you use them for too long, because there's a certain point where you can't rinse them anymore, they're just loaded with whiskers, throw them away, get another one. When you keep trying to use that razor, it builds up with whiskers in the center of the razor, and the sides still shave properly. So he's shaving, but he's missing a whole bunch while he's shaving. And it still looks kind of like he's shaving because the sides are still sharp. I guarantee you that's what's happening. Guarantee it. Kirkland feels the same way. John makes us all feel great. Look at me. Look at me. I'm just a guy. Do I look older or younger than John? Now, I'm not a lot older than John. I'm a year and a half older than he is. I'm just saying. Aku says, message the guys for Frogs or Shuli's number. I can contact those guys. I don't think I have Shuli's number. I might have Joe's, but I've got all their email and all that stuff. So SG Fanboy says, I've been watching TSN since Mike Morse showed up. I just can't do it anymore. Those guys are hilarious. I just can't watch John 10 anymore. SG Fanboy, I know exactly how you feel. I took about 3 solid months off, and all I would watch is BS. Those guys are hilarious, and they are entertaining, and they could read the phone book, and I'd watch it. But at a certain point, the John stuff just, and it wears on you, and then you go away, and then you get back into it after a while. At least that's what I do. But I'm not as into it as a lot of people are. So, Aku says, love me an old school safety blade. orangey yellow ones. Terry Nee says, never keep a razor in the open in the bathroom. Fecal matter. There you are. Terry says, you look great for 71. Well, thank you. Thank you. Kirkland's laughing at Terry. I'm not that far away, so let's not go crazy with the laughter. Aku says, SG, the problem is John keeps repeating, where before he would BS his way out and lie about more stuff. Yeah, he's gotten repetitive. Boy, he got really mad today. Really mad. Kirkland says, you got to switch it up. I'm on John's side right now. It's fun over here. You do have to switch it up. Aku says, the fact John keeps repeating and the guys keep coming up with new jokes. Yeah, he's gotten a little repetitive, hasn't he? Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. I know what you've all been waiting for. You've been waiting for the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation. That is, of course, overrated, underrated. Ta-da! Today on Overrated, Underrated, we begin number 1. I give you Betty Nesmith, the inventor of liquid paper, and Mike Nesmith of the Monkees' mom. Betty Nesmith. Betty Nesmith. Let's see here. Aku says, isn't a safety razor the one that has a double-edged blade in the head? I might have some safety razors here, but my thought was that safety razors are those orangey yellow ones that have only 1 or 2 blades in them. Aku Mugen is saying that Betty Nesmith is overrated. She invented liquid paper. She sold her company for $50 million and established foundations to help women, business people, and gave the other half to her son, and who was already spectacularly wealthy. Underrated, says Gene1313. Thank you, Gene. Thank you. By the way, yesterday, and TSN, yesterday evening, I was in the chat and I put a line in there. I love using lines from obscure things, and I put a line in there that I thought nobody would recognize or notice or even notice. It's kind of morbid fun for me, is to put it in there. It was from Stripes. You can't leave. All the plants will die. Gene1313 nailed it. Only one. I was very proud of you, Gene. I was proud of myself as well, but I was very proud of you. Hated her. It meant I made a mistake. Terry Nee hates her because she's a reminder that he had to get the little brush out and cure the... Reno Hightower says, underrated for liquid paper, overrated for her son. Hey, now. I was buddies with Mike Nesmith kind of remotely on Facebook. Overrated as a typist. Well, because she was a typist is why she invented the stuff. Kirkland says, no one uses liquid paper today. We just hit backspace on the computer. Well, there are places where they do use liquid paper, but not as many as there used to be. Overrated. Admit to your mistakes. Man, you guys, I thought you were going to be on my side with Betty Nesmith. Aku says, sorry, I pulled a Bob. Heard over, under, and had a reflex. Thank you, says Gene. Thank you. Okay, you guys have decreed it. Betty Nesmith, overrated. However, Terry does say, I did like girls blowing on it, though, in junior high. I was watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High with a bunch of younger people. And remember the scene in Mr. Hand's room when the test comes and they hand out the test and everybody smells them? Terry will remember. We used to have a thing in the school called a mimeograph, which was just a way to duplicate a single page of stuff. And when you got it, it said this alcohol smell to it. So you'd always smell it when you got it. Randy says, chef in the house, just walked in the door. All right. So you guys have said Betty Nesmith, overrated. Should I put like a ski cap on her? Like Michael and the Monkeys? See, never mind. Number 2, I have very strong feelings about this one. I'd like to get your feelings on it, of course. The number 2 item today on Overrated, Underrated is VIP bottle service. VIP bottle service at an upscale club. VIP sniffing dildos. Jesus. Early vaping, says Terry Nee. It is early vaping. But VIP bottle service. This is where you go to a very upscale nightclub and you get the VIP section, which means you're in one of those velvet roped off areas. And they don't bring drinks to your table. They bring bottles to your table. And the bottles will be like a bottle of Grey Goose vodka, $250. $30 at your local liquor store. Kirkland says, overrated. Terry Nee said, never cared. Boy, I'm so in that. Man, there was a period of time where everybody goes, man, we were getting VIP. Overrated, says Gene. I agree. Julian Zeter says, overrated. The only bottle service that matters is in bike races and triathlons. Aku says, Mimios smelt more like ice cream sandwiches. Maybe in Canada. Randy says those are overrated. And I've been there, and I've been with people. And it's like, you just spent $1,000 on $100 worth of booze. Not even 100. I don't get it. And people are crazy for it. And it's just like, what? Israeli Pager, which is a hilarious screen name. The Duke only gets bottle service. Oh, yeah, well, you know the Duke's got bottle service. Unless he's paying for it. Kirkland says, they also don't give you any mixers or chasers. You have to drink whatever is up there with limes. Yeah. I heard bottle service in a strip club meant something else. Well, they do the same thing in strip clubs. You ever had that thing they do at strip clubs where the girl comes and sits down and asks you to buy her a drink, and so you do, and she gets a super tiny glass of champagne, and it's $25. And that was 20 years ago when I was still doing those things. I used to do all the advertising for a chain of well-known. Aku says 30. It's like 45 for a 26er up here now. Yeah, I'm old. Gene says, I just go to dive bars. There you go, Gene. Woman after my own heart. Israeli Pager says, bottle service is like buying a Richard Mille watch. Baum Mercier. Akumugan says, sorry for the double chat. Lost connect. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it, man. Yeah, I don't get it. And all these young people, and it's just like, that's just stupid. That's like going to the grocery store. That's like going to the convenience store and buying a Snickers bar and paying $300 for it just because it's cool. That's... Kirkland says, they changed the laws where I live. You can't have a strip club that goes totally nude and serve alcohol. There's one strip club ran by old Italian men that is exempt. You were still old 20 years ago. Yeah, that's very true. Never done it, don't intend to. So much attention has been paid to Tampa in the last few days. I used to live in Tampa, and there's a strip club there, legendary strip club called the Mons Venus. And it's not only is it all nude, it's like full touch. And so they can't sell alcohol. And when you go into the bathroom there, they have one of those trough urinals. I don't even know why they have it. It is full of empty pint glasses of alcohol. What's more absurd, bottle service or Tom's personal ice cream delivery man? I think it's a photo finish on that one. Kirkland Red says a good over-under would be ice cream truck. It would be. Let's wait and see if this, because yesterday it was real early too, I think. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. Aku says, I heard a story of a certain bar in New York that if you had an open beer at the bar, a girl would use it as a one-legged stool. Hey now, look out. Israeli Pager said, Tom, what are your thoughts on expensive aged bourbon or scotch? Well, it depends, number one, on how aged it is, and it depends on how expensive it is. When I drink alcohol, and I'm buying it myself, I get Redbreast single pot distilled Irish whiskey, and that's a $60 bottle of whiskey. It's really good. It's not crazy expensive, but some people would say that's really expensive. So it just kind of depends. These Johnny Walker Green that they want $350 a bottle for, no, that I'm not into. A really good, off the shelf, you can get it anywhere, upscale bottle of Irish whiskey is Bushmills, and it's $25. And you know, so those crazy expensive ones, forget it. Not worth it. Terry Nee says, I buy my wife flowers. She lets me touch her. Did you ever date one of those girls or been around one of those girls? It's like, don't buy me things that are going to die. Give me jewelry. How about name brand consumer electronics? I mean, come on. Crystal or Dom? Cristal, sorry, or Dom. I hate champagne. It gives me a headache. Like while I'm drinking it, it gives me a headache. And I hate the taste of it. So I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. Kirkland says, does Johnny Walker taste like Red Man chewing tobacco to anyone? I haven't had that much Johnny Walker, to be honest with you. It struck me as like an East Coast thing, Johnny Walker, but Kirk, which one? Karen Garvey's here. She says, laughing at Terry, that's why you've been together 30 years. You get it. Yeah, give me flowers, you get to touch me. Johnny Walker Black. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room in the whole internet, is verified by independent sources. Okay, we've all agreed VIP bottle service is overrated. On to item number 3. This may be familiar to one Terry Nee because it was discussed today earlier in another chat, and I thought this is a perfect topic for overrated, underrated. Hold on, I got a couple chats here. Aku says, personally, I have 3 standard bourbons I look for: Roses, Maker's Mark, Jim Beam, in that order. Randy says, today at work, as you know, I'm at a golf course now, the Golf Club of Indianapolis. I had a setup of a barbecue grill feeding the players. It's pretty cool. Beautiful day. Awesome, Randy. Very happy for you. Item number 3 today on overrated, underrated. It is Almond Joy. Almond Joy. I was in a chat earlier today, and some people expressed some very strong opinions about Almond Joy. I hate coconut. Bitter hatred of coconut. However, I can buy a whole sleeve of those Almond Joy bars and finish the whole damn thing in 3 minutes. I mean, they are the nectar of the gods. They really are. SG Fanboy says underrated. Dupa says underrated. Terry Nee has a weird taste reaction to bourbon. Well, don't just bury the lead. What is your unique taste reaction? Underrated, says Julian Caesar. Dark chocolate would be even better. Kirkland says, you guys are going to hate me, but I am saying over. It's okay. It's okay. There's no wrong answer. Israeli Pager says, chocolate and coconut together are delicious. And Aku says, Terry, love the smell of the stuff, bourbon. Well, you know, a lot of my friends consider Jameson to be this great, and it's not bad. It really isn't, but it's too sweet for me. It's got a sweetness that I don't like. But that Redbreast single pot distilled, that's some stuff. It's so good. So good. Randy also says Almond Joy is overrated. Julian Zeter says 2 nuts and 1 candy. What's not to love? Remember that? Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Anyway. Israeli Pazer says Jägermeister. Man, I used to drink Jaeger. I think I'm like a lot of people with Jägermeister or Jack Daniels. Once you get sick on it, you don't want it no more. But I used to drink Jaeger all the time, and I got horribly sick one time on it. I knew people who used to keep their Jaeger in the freezer. So it didn't harsh you out from that Jägermeister taste. Aku says, I don't think I've had an Almond Joy. Might not get it up here. Oh, you definitely get it up there, Aku Mugen. You definitely do. I can explain the bourbon effect. Please do. Oh, I can't explain the bourbon effect. But does it make your mouth, I mean, what's the actual effect? Does it make you gag? Does it taste like a battery? Is it tastes like your gym teacher's taint? What? Kirkland says, I used to dress up as a mobster and order 7-7s at clubs when I was younger. I used to order 7-7s. Like 7 and 7. 7-7's good. Akumugan says, Pager, why is everyone scared of this stuff? So scared of this stuff? I don't know. SG Fanboy says, Jaeger bombs were my jam when I still drank. Yeah, I got sick from it one time. And the worst part was I played in a band that was sponsored by Jägermeister. So they had one of those official dispensers, and everybody was always, and I was just like, ugh, get it away from me. I can't even smell it, and I'd want to throw up. I think, with a few notable exceptions, we have decided that the Almond Joy is underrated. Terry Nee says he can't explain it. Okay. It's just a thing. I got you. Aku says, during the winter, I have a glass Mickey of Jaeger I would keep in the snowbank to keep cold and enjoy it while I clear the dry. That's a good idea, actually. Randy says, I used to drink Jägermeister. I can't remember anything during that period. Well, that's the other thing about Jägermeister is everybody has a blackout. And there's also a thing about Jägermeister is that while people are drunk and they might have clicked off and they don't really know, it makes them behave really weird. It makes them not like creepy weird, but just it makes them do things they wouldn't ordinarily otherwise do. I got to tell you, I was nice about it, but I said, hey, you guys are getting a little meeting happy here, okay? Some of these meetings, you're just bringing me in for clout. That's not what I'm for. Kirkland says it definitely makes people more aggressive. Yeah, weirdly so. Like, I don't like your shoelaces. I mean, weird. Terry says, I never had Jägermeister. Well, good luck to you. The number 4 item today on the extravaganza that we like to call overrated, underrated. By the way, like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet. And, of course, that will help us with the almighty algorithms and an all-powerful algorithm. And then we do have super chats and we do have memberships. You can avail yourselves of those. We do have goal for the show every night, which is any amount of money. We have not reached our goal yet today, but you can sign up for gifted memberships. It tells how in the crawl at the bottom of the screen. And if somebody gifts, you may get one. Item number 4 today on overrated, underrated. I am so anxious to see how this one shakes out. And that's Mariah Carey. Overrated or underrated? Now, I should tell you that Mariah Carey, in most things, she is recognized as one of the greatest female singers of all time. And she leads in hit records and things of that nature by a long shot. She sold a ton of records. Like I said, I think there's some statistic about her and number one hits that she's the queen of. All of that being said, let me just tell you something. I know that she does a popular Christmas song. I couldn't tell you one of her other songs. And if I heard one, I don't think I could identify it as being hers. So, there you go. There you go. Aku is dead on correct when he says that Jaeger is a medicinal black licorice flavor, Terry. It is. It's almost like a cough syrup or Robitussin. I've covered this week. That's right, Terry. You did your part. The legendary Wolf has generously donated $2 and shattered our goal of any amount of money. And I'm wondering if the Wolf watched The Prisoner last night. Aku says Mariah Carey is overrated. Kirkland says that Mariah Carey is overrated, as does SG. Gene has even stronger feelings about Mariah Carey. The Wolf says she's overrated. Gene says she's overrated. Terry says she's okay. I'm neutral. Let's not get bent out of shape. She leads pushing Christmas before Halloween. Yes. I'd rather listen to the Stuttering John band. The Wolf says, I can't tell you any of her songs. Julian Caesar says, me neither, Wolf. Oh, yeah. Jaeger is very thick. It's a thing. Randy Ramos says she's overrated. And the Wolf says he watched the very pervish Alphaville with Eddie Constantine or Eddie Considine or whatever his name is. Yeah, Mariah Carey has got just these huge records. Let me see. I might need to, because it's actually like, whoa, Jesus. She was ranked as the 5th greatest singer of all time. Singer, not male or female, by Rolling Stone last year. She's the only artist to have their first 5 singles reach number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart. That is, she was ranked as the most successful artist of the decade in the 90s. She did that movie Glitter, which didn't work out very well. The Emancipation of Mimi, one of her albums, is one of the best-selling albums of the 21st century. She gets tons and tons and tons of media coverage. She's sold over 220 million records worldwide. 5 Grammy Awards, 10 American Music Awards, 19 World Music Awards, 20 Billboard Music Awards. She holds the record for the most Billboard Hot 100 number 1 singles by a solo artist with 19. And she holds the most for a female songwriter with 18. So she wrote 18 of her 19 number 1 hits, and she produced 15 of them. She spent a record 93 weeks on top of the charts with that album. She is the highest certified female artist in the U.S. So she's got some street cred. I mean, if you care about that kind of crap. But it just blows me away that there's an artist that popular, that successful, and I don't know a damn thing that they do. Not one song. Not one. I'm not crazy about Taylor Swift, but the player's going to play, and the hater's going to hate. I mean, I know some of her stuff. So the Wolf says, apparently she screams good. Karen Garvey says, don't hate her, but I would change the station. Hey, I don't hate her, but there's presets on my radio for a reason. Damn it, Karen Garvey, you made me laugh my butt off. Illuminati. Julian Caesar says she can do what is called whistle voice, which is something not everyone can do. She's not as bad as Madonna. I like Madonna. I don't kind of like her now with her craziness, but I liked her for a long time because she would just refuse to be categorized and do a new successful thing every time. Karen Garvey says, Wolf, the high G to the seventh was so. She's no Whitney Houston. No, she is not. That I will say. And people laughing. People are just laughing. I think we are all in pretty much universal agreement that Mariah Carey is overrated. And I don't know why she ever divorced Drew Carey. Kirkland says, how many number one hits does she have? George Strait has 60. Well, I'm sure George Strait does. But George Strait does not have 60 number one hits on the Billboard Hot 100. That's a different thing. She has 19 of those. And by the way, I live down here in Dallas, Kirkland. I love me old King George. I've actually met George Strait. I got all of the George Strait greatest hits albums. Love George Strait. I know all of his songs. They call me the fireman. That's my name. Making the rounds all over town, putting out hard flames. Wait a minute. Now everybody like to have what I got. Are you saying she was the prisoner? She was number one? I must have a hit. What are you after? A hit record. You won't get it. I will by hook or by crook. I'll get it. Mariah can carry a tune. Yeah, you got to be doing something right, I guess. Akko says, I don't know if I lost all respect for Madonna when the Haiti tsunami hit and she wanted things sent just for starving people to touch, or after hearing her in the studio doing ID tags. I don't know, man. You get these people, Madonna's one of them, that become spectacularly rich and famous everywhere, and it warps them a little bit. And then they start having work done and all that. Randy says overrated. She has 3 concerts coming up sometime next month, I believe, and all fans are upset because all the road construction that we have going on, they expected us to wait till after. Well, I won't blame her for that. Hey, Mariah, get on this road construction. A little bit. Lately, I've seen her a few times, and it's like recently, the last few years, she seems to be trying to curry favor by reinventing herself, and she never did that before. She was always like, I don't give a damn what you think. I'm doing this. And now it seems like she's, remember me? Have I eaten at Pecan Lodge? Oh, Wolf. Yes, I have eaten at Pecan Lodge. Several times. Several times. Why do you ask? I'll tell you a little about Pecan Lodge if you'd like. The number 5 item today, and I didn't build it up properly like I usually do, but the number 5 item today is animal print. This can be leopard print. Sometimes it is tiger print. Sometimes it is zebra print. Animal print. Overrated or underrated? This would be probably one of the less risque things that you see animal print used for. Randy says, I thought you were talking about Taylor Swift. I walked out of the room. Wow. Underrated. Karen Garvey, you are so right. I really like animal print, let me tell you. Wolf says, overrated or underrated? Oh, Pecan Lodge. Man, that's like a push. Because the first time I went there, everyone was raving about it. There's a huge line outside you got to stand in. And I'm standing there with this girl, and I'm like, we're in Texas. Why are we standing and waiting for barbecue? We drive down a road. Oh, no, it's the best. It's so good. All right. So we stood in the line. We went through the whole thing. You get inside. You see that the line wraps around the inside. You're like, oh, my God. You go through. It's so, everybody raves about it. And then you get it. And I got brisket, mac and cheese with bacon in it. I forget what the other thing I had was. And then you start eating it, and you're like, okay, this lived up to its billing. So I can't call it underrated because everybody rates it so highly, and I can't call it overrated because it really delivered. They were not, it wasn't one of those things where you go, I don't know why everybody raves about this place. It's just a regular place. No. This was amazingly good. You just got to know if you go there. Like the first time I went with this girl, it was on the Sunday that the Cowboys were playing the Baltimore Ravens. So there were Ravens fans and Cowboy fans, and it's a production. You're not just going to go to a place, wait 10 minutes, 20 minutes to be seated, and then eat. No, you're going to be in a line for 35, 45 minutes. So you just got to know that. Kirkland says, all right, generally I'm going to say overrated, but tiger stripe camo is the coolest camo ever. Yes. Wolf says, no, I meant Pecan Lodge. I think we're on the same page. I am not from Long Island. Overrated. I'm not from Long Island. That's funny, Gene. Overhyped. I don't even think it was overhyped. It was, it's like $159 for 3 pounds of brisket. Yeah, that's about right. When I go and I get a pound of brisket, that might be a little expensive, but it's not crazy expensive, especially not for theirs. Overrated. Oh, man. Julian Zeta is overrated. The exotic animals need to stop showing off and just wear wool. Terry Nee. Minnie Ripperton. Loving you. That was high pitched. Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful, and making love to you. I used to be able to do that. I can't do it anymore. Too many kicks in the throat, I guess. I do love that song now. Oh, hey, by the way, guess what happened to yesterday's episode? Yeah, I got a you can't be monetized because of the music from The Prisoner. So I chopped it out of the show. We'll see if they might. We only did $5 yesterday. So, but yeah, that's what I was scared of. You can order it online. Oh yeah, you can order it online. You pretty much have to. That's another thing about Texas barbecue places. They're probably closed Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that. Pecan Lodge rocks. It's down there in Deep Ellum, but still, it rocked. Gene 1313, the Long Island line was very funny. Thanks, DDD. There's a song, I don't know whether Cross Canadian Ragweed did it first or Jerry Jeff Walker, but it's called I Like My Women Just a Tad on the Trashy Side. And that's kind of what I like Animal Print. When they wear their clothes too tight and their hair is dyed. The lyrics of that song are so funny. I said, I couldn't wait to show up to my dad and mom. When I showed up with my date for the senior prom, my dad said, "Pardon me, son, that ain't no kid. That's a cocktail waitress in a Dolly Parton wig." And I said, "I know it, Dad. Ain't she cool? She the kind that I dig." I like that little bit. Just a tad on the... You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Just a tad... You know what I mean? You got a big, crazy wig on and blouse too tight. And maybe a little lipstick on their teeth. Just a little... I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. Barbecue. Overrated. Too easy. It's Texas barbecue. And their sides aren't barbecue. I tell you what, that macaroni and cheese with bacon in it, that will change your life. Randy says, I know I might get in trouble with it. Any of my Indiana friends are listening, but I think St. Elmo's is overrated food-wise. I would tend to agree. It's not bad at St. Elmo's. It's just nothing special. It's exactly what you would expect from a great American steakhouse that's been around since the 20s or whenever that place was founded. You're going there for the atmosphere, maybe the shrimp cocktail, but really, you're right. There's nothing special at St. Elmo's, food-wise. Like I said, not bad. It's good. It's not great. Jillian Caesar says, start a business that scans your pet and makes clothing with your pet's coloration for you to wear. I know. No, thank you. Will says, I may order some to be shipped. I'm always disappointed, though. Yeah, you might. I don't know. I don't know what that would be like shipped. And I don't know how you like your barbecue and all that, brisket and all that. So we'll have to see. That's a cocktail waitress in a Dolly Parton wig. Yes, SG. Yes. Opposites attract, and I do agree. I need a chick just as trashy as me. The Wolf says, sounds like a Who song. Who are you? Ooh, 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 ooh. Anyway, Animal Print. I've had past girlfriends that are aware of my fondness for Animal Print. And I knew if they were wearing Animal Print, well, that was pretty much just a signal they wanted Tom to help make him a happy girl that night. Kind of a signal flare, if you will. I gave you the number 6 item today on overrated, underrated. And then another one I'm anxious to get your opinion on. Number 6. The Swiffer. I saw loads of ladies wearing them in Detroit. Oh, I'll bet you did. Zebra print, you name it, man, up there in Detroit. Mike Morse and I were at The Who concert in 1982. Gene1313 says that the Swiffer dusters are underrated. Gene, I agree with you. I know there's a lot of other Swiffer products, and I used to have one of the mops, well, the mop-ish things that had the little stuff that would spray out. These Swiffers, before I got these and I was dusting with just a rag and all that, awful. Swiffer? I'm done dusting my entire house in like 3 minutes. They're a godsend. So underrated. Says Karen Garvey. Man, Gene and Karen, man, it does my heart good to know that my ladies are backing me up on this Swiffer thing. You know, the dust brush is good. It really is. Aku says underrated. Too expensive, but the quality of build isn't bad. They have some really long wands. Not only that, the replacement Swiffer things, you know, they last a long time. They really do. They're worth the money. Wolf says lots of ladies in LA wearing them too. One of them hit me in the Hollywood grocery downtown. Oh, yeah. Randy says on an episode of MASH, they had some ribs set to them from Adam's Ribs in Chicago. I believe that's where it's at. Oh, cool. Us ladies know best. About this stuff you do. Dust is, I don't get this. I'm very dust. And I live in Dallas, so my AC is on all summer. I don't care how clean your ductwork is. There's going to be dust in there. Let's see. I remember that, Randy. Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of food that you can order delivered. White Castle has like a sleeve of 100 or something that they will ship to you hot in foil and stuff. The Wolf says, I have something like this Swiffer. I'm looking for it now. The Wolf got a knockoff brand Swiffer. It's called the Swiffy. So far, we're underrated on the Swiffer. I like the Swiffer. Let's put it this way. My mother and I had a discussion about the Swiffer. A long one. Aku says, I'll have dust in my lungs till the day I die, depending on the car. I change colors daily. I feel bad for all my art director friends back in the day when artwork was not done on a computer digitally, but it was done mechanically, physically, with like spray mount and paste up materials. And that spray mount, they had these booths with vented vacuum fans, and they would spray the back of a piece of artboard or foam core and then paste something down on it. Man, those guys were breathing those fumes all day. Well, inside the booth, after a while, you could see what all of that spray mount did. It was hanging down like stalactites or whatever. And overrated. Randy, not a fan of this Swiffer. Got to keep my wall of sound dusted, says Wolf. Damn right. Terry Nee says the Swiffer is great on blinds. Blinds, and like if you have a monitor or anything else really, but my monitor has slots in it on the top to vent the heat, and those always get dust. And if you can just whap, done. And before that, you had to go with your little rag one by one. Oh, forget it. Tell that to Stevie Wonder. God. I mentioned the name Stevie Wonder to a coworker about 2 years ago. And I don't know who that is. And I went, what? So I don't know who that is. And I got like 10 YouTube clips of Stevie Wonder and sent them to her. And she came back the next day and just went, oh my God. I went, yeah. You haven't done nothing. The very final item today on this barn burner of an episode of Overrated, Underrated is cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency. Not necessarily Bitcoin, can be any cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency. Tom's ancient. I am. I am. Cryptocurrency is not money. It's the most overrated damn thing in the world. Overrated, says Gene. Barnburner, not a bad whiskey. Gene, thank you for being here. Always like you coming in and contributing to the show. Yeah, it's... You know how like some people collect very rare comic books? And so if I get a comic book and it's super rare, I got this comic book here and it's super rare and it's worth $1 million. Isn't that what cryptocurrency is? I got this little doodad here and it's worth, blockchain, underrated. Overrated, not real. Overrated, but has made many wealthy. Pet rock, yeah, kind of. It's not real, just like real money. Yeah, just like real money. It's not real. Of course, that's not federally insured or anything like that. But hey, did you guys hear about the dude that bought crypto early on? And the crypto that he bought is worth like $3 million. The only problem is he forgot his password to the account. And he's used all of his challenges, like his attempts to get the password right, except the very last one. If he tries that one and it fails, bye-bye $3 million. Just another reason not to like crypto. Crypto is so easy to lose your cash in, yeah. I'm on the fence with cryptocurrency. Yeah. I mean, if somebody gave me a couple of those Bitcoins, I would cash them in for real money so fast. It would make your head spin, you know. So far we've got it's overrated. Overrated. And don't get me started on the non-fungible token. But that's just over. Bitcoin, it's overrated. It's you know. I almost bought $10 crypto. That's a whole 2 weeks here on the Tom Gulley Show. Kim Warfield said, well, good luck cashing it fast. Yeah, well, as fast as I could. We'll put it that way. I wouldn't want that. Can't buy a house with it. I can't, if I grew, you know. Although in Europe, there are places that do advertise that they accept Bitcoin as a currency. Aku says, I did hear about that guy, Tom. He found some hackers to get into it. I think they were successful for, I think, a $500,000 payday. Well worth it. Well worth it. Yeah, but that guy was the subject of a lot of articles and stuff because there's all sorts of school systems and hospitals that get malware locked up. And the guys that did it go, because they're dead in the water. They can't access their files. They can't conduct business of any kind. They're dead in the water. And those people will go, give us $10 million and we'll unlock everything for you. And the hospital will go, we're not going to do that. We'll give you $5 million. Okay. And they give them the $5 million and they unlock it, and the FBI is losing their mind. Don't work with these guys. Don't do that. No, we want to catch them. Yeah, I'm sure you do. But we got a hospital to run. It'll take you guys 3 years to catch them. We you know. We're giving out proctology exams today. Let's see here. I almost bought Bitcoin, is what I meant. Okay, $10 in Bitcoin. Wow. Man, we're at time. We finished right at the end here today. I don't know. Maybe it was a good show. I don't know. I just blinked and now it's over. But that's this week's episode of Overrated, underrated. There's two other features we're developing for the show. One is this or that. I'll show you two things, and you tell me which one of them is better. And then the other one is Tom's pet peeves. Yeah, I think we can do a show on that every week. Tom, I did start the mead last night. Is it Dr. Pepper mead or is it regular mead? Great show theme. Well, thank you. Overrated, underrated is fun. Well, thank you. I think Tom should do top 10 lists. Well, my idol already did that. That's how well Dave Letterman did the top 10. Nobody else can do it now. It's his. Man, might as well not do it. From the home office in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Aku says, if all the sugar is converted, it will be sitting around 18 to 20% alcohol. Well, that's 36 to 40 proof or something like that. Overrated. I had a guy, doggone it. Did I give that away? I did. I had taken Uber. It was about 6 months ago. I had taken Uber, and the guy that was driving me in the Uber was an Asian guy, and we were chatting and talking and stuff, and he liked me so much that he gave me an imitation Bitcoin. It was brand new. It was in a plastic bag, and I was like, thanks, whatever. And then I had to give him something because that's an Asian thing. If somebody gives you, and I did. And then on my ride back, I gave it to the driver. He was like, hey, man, here you go. That's for you. It's just a little something. Tom's pet peeve show will be a marathon show. It will be. I could do those nonstop. Terry, he said, underrated T-shirt folding discussions. Underrated, I think. Wolf says, Aku, I've homebrewed for 40 years. Aku, you and the Wolf could have some great discussions about homebrewing. The Wolf brews things that you drink, and it tastes really good beer, and then he tells you it's 60% alcohol or something. I mean, it's... Aku says, and just a simple honey mead. I now have the equipment to properly measure the gravity, so I'll report back on the DP wine. Please do. I've also made liquor. He likes to make that corn liquor. Sour mash. I can measure the actual alcohol in booze. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Randy's, everyone say goodnight, Gracie, please. Goodnight, Gracie. Well, that old clock on the wall. Okay, tomorrow night. I'm very excited about tomorrow night for two reasons. Number one, I am going to attempt to stream this show in 1080. So we'll see if we can make that work or not. The other reason I'm excited is because tomorrow's subject is one of my favorite subjects on the face of this planet. And it's a gentleman by the name of Tom Lehrer. Lehrer, Tom Lehrer. And so, looking forward to it. Hopefully, you are too. Aku says, any tips on how to negate the preserves in soda so it ferments better? I have no idea. Terry says, I made wind. Terry's helping the airflow inside of his house, make his wife happy. Why am I imagining the wife put flowers in a vase on the island in the kitchen and Terry made wind and the flowers just fluttered a little like a breeze? Randy says, I think I know somebody that won a David Letterman award, but I can't remember who that is. Me neither. I know. The first guy that won that's a real jerk. I would just use high gravity yeast, says the wolf. And Akka says, I'm using Lalvin 1118. Well, I would have gone with Lalvin 1117, but reasonable people can disagree. Any sugar will get burned up. I got to get out of that conversation. Hey, that old clock on the wall says, like the Reverend Al Green, I'm going to have to get on up out of here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And that means till next time. Hey, by the way, I'd like to thank the lovely and talented Wolf for his kind donation and the lovely and talented Terry Nee. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. White Labs East is the best. Burned up. We got burned up Army training, sir. Till next time. Till next time. I'll push the right button this time. We'll see you next time.
I got a world of hurts living under my shirt.